Okay. Rule number 3, doing the breathing exercises. So, what you want to do is stand upright and breathe from all the way from the gut. Fill up your gut. And do that. That way, you're filling up your lungs. You're not breathing like this because you're only getting it from up here and you're not filling up your lungs. So you want to get it all the way from the stomach. And so that way you recover your lungs, your lung capacity, and the lungs and blood start carrying oxygen throughout your whole body. And that is what you want to do. And so that's what I did to my nephew. You know, it's like I made him breathe, but then he was already in the trenches, you know, because he was already feeling the altitude sickness. First it starts with the panic. Then I remember he said to me, "Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm about to pass out." So still, that is because oxygen is not getting to your brain. So I asked him to continue on doing breathing that way, and until he felt better. At the same time, I needed him to react, to snap out of it. So I gave him some Coca-Cola so that the sugar rush will give him a little boost and start breathing a little bit better on a rhythmic way, you know, because he was still panicking. So I gave him that, and then then he reported that he wanted to throw up. And again, that is another side effect of being altitude sick, of altitude sickness. So I gave him a hard candy to chew on, or actually to suck on. That way it eliminates the need for throwing up, because you're aiding the your saliva, your glands to produce more saliva, for that creating a flow of liquid through your whole esophagus and onto your stomach. So then I, as a fourth thing, I asked him to keep on drinking the water. You need a lot of water, so that your body can function back again and start sending all the oxygen to your brain and different organs, mainly your heart. So he was still not out of the trenches, but those are that's like the first aid kit for altitude sickness. So then we arrived to Copper Canyon, where I love staying at whenever I do those races, because it's away from all the fuss, all the excitement those races bring. And I like avoiding all of that, just because I want to conserve energy and I want to spend the time with my wife and my crew, going over the details of what's to be ahead. So, a recap: learn what to do in case you panic. It wasn't in this sort of tutorial. It wasn't how do you say that? It wasn't discussed at the beginning of this tutorial that I was going to be talking about that, but yes, learn what to do in case you become altitude sickness, and also what to do if you suffer from a panic attack. The worst thing that can happen is that you pass out because your body can't absorb oxygen. That leads to diminishing the amount of oxygen you pass to your brain, and with all that you pass out, hoping that you're not in a single track. And if you pass out, you're hoping you land on that side and not on the other side, which you can see wouldn't be a good thing. So number 2 we talked about is how to breathe. Do those exercises. If you notice, if you have been listening to my conversation and the way I've been trekking, my way of breathing has been prolonged, deep, but with a rhythm. There's another thing that I learned, and I don't want to practice it because I'm scared to practice it. So there is a way that you can pass out by breathing rhythmically and that way your body just concentrates in that where you're breathing, and all of a sudden you find yourself on a trance, which is awesome to do whenever you're running long, but at the same time you become your body, and please hear me out, I'm not BSing you, your body becomes, it's like, oh my gosh, check it out. Woo! Yeah, boy. Look at that. So, back to this. So your body is moving, but your mind is somewhere else. That is the fascination that I have experienced, but I haven't practiced it on just to practice it. I've been in, when running long distance, I let go of my, let's say, soul per se. I let go of my feelings and my thoughts and everything. And I, all of a sudden I find myself being able to keep on going because I'm no longer thinking. I'm no longer part of my body. All right, we got a cloud. We're gonna keep an eye on that cloud. So going back, the recap, learning how to do first aid whenever you become scared, and also on the panic mode, learning how to get out from that, and then learning how to breathe. So that is what I have so far. I'm gonna continue on climbing. Man, I've been climbing for a while now, and look at that. So I'm keeping an eye on my time, my water, the clouds, my surroundings, and staying alert. And I'll talk more about being alert. All right.